Welcome to Season 2 of Digging Deeper Ag Chats with Al, the podcast that brings you timely and practical stories straight from the paddock. From sowing to shearing, fire to flood, and everything in between. We're here when it matters most. Each episode taps into real experiences, expert voices, and grounded advice that helps you stay ahead on farm. I'm Alistair from the Gippsland Ag Group, a grassroots farmer-led network in Gippsland, focusing on soil, grain and fodder, pasture and livestock. We're here to support producers in building resilient and profitable enterprises across our region. So let's dig in. Welcome to Digging Deeper. We have some special guests on with us today. We have Jackie and Kelvin Pendergast. How are you going, guys?
Good, thanks, Alan.
Good, thank you.
Appreciate you coming on the podcast. Now, just very quickly, the reason you're just actually cleaning up after the, I'm going to get this wrong, but the Gippsland Sheep Breeders Association ram sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that happened on the, what was it, the 2nd of September?
Second.
Yeah, so we'll be a couple of weeks late getting this to air, but how was it in a nutshell?
Well, it exceeded our expectations by a long way. We thought that we knew it'd be tough, but it wasn't near as, it was brilliant, to be honest, talking personally for ourselves. Clearance rate was the biggest thing. It was only about 90 something percent sale rate or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, we sold 63 out of 68.
Yeah, that's really exceptional.
Yeah. Very happy with that. Yeah. Very happy.
The average was up above where we expected. I knew that good rams would possibly still make good money, which they did. But the average and the clearance rate was the biggest thing, because I do a ring around prior to the sale, and we had clients at the Western District, even up home.
Just stop you there. Where's home for you guys, for people that don't know you?
Benambra.
Benambra,
Up home at Benambra. Yeah. And those, another bloke at Panara, just a few handful of phone calls I made, and they there was 15 rams in total there that those people weren't here yesterday to purchase, so I thought we'd be taking more home than what we did, but like we say, we only had out of 68, we only took 5 home. Yeah,
and I saw a photo on Facebook late last night. You got the gong for the top price ram again, is that correct?
We did, yes.
Yep, and talk about him for a little minute. Talking to you before the sale, I said, do you have a favourite? He goes, not really, but I do like this one, and it was number 21, and I reckon it was that one that got sold.
Okay, that would have been him, yeah.
Well, the reason is probably Jackie's favourite, but I had him picked out to be a keeper.
Right.
Anyway, I tossed up between him and another one, and we went and catalogued the other one. And after I'd put them in the catalogue, well, then I changed my mind again. Right. So I swapped them over. So this bloke drew the short straw. He got sold yesterday.
He looked at you funny in the yards one day, did he? And where did he end up going? He's fairly local, is that right?
He went to the Smiths at Omeo, Nolan Alan Smith, which just previously won the Elders Southern Clip of the Year. Which was presented to him over at Hamilton Sheep Fencing.
I was going to bring that up later in the podcast, but I'll talk about it now. As stud producers, what's more exciting for you? You've won Clip of the Year in the past, have you?
Yes,
we
in
have,
2013, 14 we won it.
Yeah. What's more exciting, winning it yourself or seeing some of your clients do really well? Because it's not just those guys that have won Clip of the Year out of your bloodlines, is it?
No.
That is the fourth time.
Yeah.
Our bloodlines have won that Southern Clip of the Year. Yeah. No, it's more exciting to see our clients winning the accolade than ourselves.
Yeah. It's always rewarding to see your clients doing so well. Using your genetics. It's very, very pleasing.
Yep. Now, someone who bought that ram. Sorry, who was it?
Alan and Nolan Smith.
So the Smith, are they purely Panara bloodlines, are they?
28 years I've been
really
purely on our line. blood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, it's good to see them
Yeah.
doing well, I guess, when
Yeah.
they've been using your.
I'm not
Your
sure
sheep
what
farm.
they bought yesterday. They must have bought at least 4 or 5. I haven't even checked the catalogue as yet.
4, I think. Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, that's good to hear. All right,
Yeah.
let's step back a little bit because we like to learn a little bit about you growing up through the ranks. So both of you, where did it all begin for you, Kelvin? We'll start with you. You're about a 4th generation farmer, is that right?
Yep. Yeah, that'd be right. It's always been, excuse me, in Benambra on all my life. Lived with mum and dad. Then, I started shearing at. Started shearing pretty regularly, full on or whatever, when I was about 17 onwards. But prior to that, as we all do, if you want to be a shearer, you're probably shearing the sheep at 12, 13-year-old. And but there was probably the odd shed just on the weekends or something that still going to school, but they'd want to shear some lambs or something, so I'd go along with the handpiece. And
Now tell me, when you were cutting your teeth, was it narrow combs back then?
exactly.
It was?
I saw a lot of sheep with narrow combs. I'm not sure how many years of shearing I had with narrow combs, but I don't know when we actually started with wide combs.
So you sure with wide as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a lot of, probably, possibly done more with wide combs than I did narrow, but I was sure for 29 years.
Oh,
30,
really?
30 years,
Yeah.
pretty much full time, and not full time, but anywhere from 6 to 9 months a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you, Jackie? Are you a Benambra girl as well, or did you have to shop further afield than Benambra to find a wife?
I was in Benambra when I met Kelvin, but I was actually born in Mackay.
Right.
And then Dad was working up there, so we come back down to Buchan, and then we lived at Swifts Creek for a little bit, and moved to Benambra when I was 5.
Oh, so quite young as well.
Yeah.
So you're off property then as well, or did Dad not know?
No. Dad was a truck driver at that stage, and then when we moved to Benambra, it was because he was driving trucks then, so we lived in the town, and
I guess you would have bumped into each other along the way. Is that how you met?
Yeah.
School days?
Yeah. No, you were sort of finished. There's a little bit of an age. Yeah. He was sort of finished school, I suppose, but it's not a very big town.
No.
Yeah.
What you're trying to say is Calvin was a cradle snatcher. Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
That's it.
Yeah. So when you did get married, did you go straight on the farm? Is that what you wanted to be part of the farming operations? Did you, or is it?
Yeah. I used to go up and stay up at Kelvin's families and that. And I used to love going out and helping with whatever it was, or working in the shearing shed, or something like that. But just before we got married, one of the places that Kelvin used to shear, they were going to sell, and he said to Kelvin, he said, you're getting married or whatever. He said, do you want to buy a farm? And offered it. So he'd shore for him for years. Yeah.
So that's where you are now?
Yes.
Yeah, we've been there 40 years. This November it'll be 41 years since we bought the place.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, am I wrong in saying that your dad was mainly cattle?
Yeah, well, he liked his sheep as well, but he was regarded as a very well-known cattleman in the area. But he still liked his sheep, and he was a shearer too in his day.
Yeah.
Always done probably more the spring in the summer shearing run. And go crutch sheep during winter, but same time had the farm. But once he gave that away, he stopped shearing. Yeah, he was regarded highly as a cattleman up there. For sure.
Yeah. So you bought the farm. How old were you guys then? Do you remember roughly?
Well,
you said 40 years ago, so
Yeah, well, must have been 28. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So fairly young to get into it. And you made the decision then to go into sheep, or you started with cattle, or how did that all happen?
We had a mix of both.
Yeah.
We bought some of the sheep that were already on the property.
Yeah.
Because the bloke that had it, he was all sheep. But we bought some of the sheep just to run them as flock sheep, and then we had some cattle there as well. And and just slowly grew on that. The original place we bought was 483 acres with the house, and then we just kept blowing the pretty much neighbouring blocks virtually, and built it up to over 1,600 odd acres. So,
that's what you run now?
Yeah.
Right. And mix of the Panara stud as well as cattle up there now?
Yeah. We run like they have our eggs in a few baskets, like we got the Hereford cattle, naturally the Panara merino stud, commercial sheep, merino sheep for wool, and we join a few hundred lower grade merino ewes. We put the white Suffolk ram over them for a few fat lambs.
Yeah. So how many commercial sheep do you have up there?
About 2,500.
Yeah, right.
Roughly fluctuates from 23 to 2,500. Yeah, in that area.
And how many? You said there was about 70 odd rams you sold this year.
Yeah, we had 60, 80 yesterday. Yeah.
And so that's pretty common numbers for you guys to sell?
Well, the last couple of years we've had 72, but on the count of the phone calls I made, we dropped it back 4. But so thinking the clearance rate might have been a problem, but as that turned out, we had 4 less, but we only took 5 home. So exceeded our...
And you did keep a few more sires this year.
Yeah, well, I thought seeing the demand may not be there as in quantity, numbers. We kept 6 sires for our own use as well, so some of our old sires might be getting a bit old, so I kept the young one to keep that bloodline going and whatever, but most years I only keep 2 sires maybe, but this year I thought, well, because of the way the season's been, clearance rate was always in the back of my mind, so we kept 6 future sires.
Right. Now, how many cattle would you run up there as well?
About 130 breeders. Yeah.
All red Herefords?
Yep. Nothing but the best.
Nothing but the best. We're talking to someone that just bought some black ones, so might have made the wrong decision there.
Our daughter's got them down there, and I call them kicking black bastards.
Some of yours might be down here, actually, I hear. Is that right?
Yeah, well, we've got 35 down here on our daughter's son-in-law's place. And
just talk a little bit why Benambra's not that far from East Gippsland. It's part of East Gippsland, but not that far from where we are now. But you guys have been in pretty bad shape as far as the drought's going up there as well, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, it's changes in such a small distance up there, south of Omeo. Omeo is the borderline virtually. South of Omeo, they've had as good an autumn that went in a really good autumn into winter. Then they've went through winter really good. All their stock are tremendous, and yet you go north of Omeo, where we are, only 15-20 minute drive in a totally different area seemed to be. But they were copping rain, kept coming in from the south, and the rain gets about halfway between Omeo and Benambra and just cuts out, which it regularly does, south rain. But for us to get good rain, we've got to come in from the north.
You said to me just before that you didn't have a spring last year, and then pretty much nothing of significance since.
No.
Yeah, and so what about right now? Have you got any of the rain showers that's gone through, or?
Yeah, we got some rain about 5+ weeks ago, come from the north, the inch or so, and that gave us a green tinge, no feed, but just changed the colour.
Yeah.
And then last weekend we got 52.5 mils, so we get a little bit of warmth now. Well, we'll certainly start to get a little bit of growth, but we just need more follow-up rain naturally, because it's a little bit of warmth and that'll soon disappear, that 50 mil.
I had a friend go up there, would have been 6 or 8 weeks ago, and said it looked like a moonscape up there, it was that bad, and not too far from you guys, it's not too bad, so
it's only,
it's been tough up there.
15 to 20 minute drive, and as far as crow flies, well, I don't know, 12, 15 k's would be the distance between Benambra and Omeo in straight line.
No, I'm pleased to hear there's a bit of moisture, but we understand we need a bit more, but it always lifts the spirit seeing a bit of green on the hills, even there's not much feed about. But
it
Oh.
makes a big difference to get up in the morning and look out, the sun rising, and then look out and you've got, even though it's only painted on, it's a different colour. It's much better than looking than brown.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, we've been full feeding every second day. It's been full feeding since March.
Right. And it would have been expensive to get it up there too, I'm guessing, the hay and whatnot.
We were just lucky that I'd had 2 sheds, fair size sheds I'd just put aside and filled with hay. We worked with big squares, which we baled on our own property. I think it's probably 12, 15-year-old, the hay.
Oh, really?
And seeing it's big squares, packed tight, and then you can stack them in the sheds very tight, and no air gets in there, and that hay is coming out nearly as good as the day it was baled, as in colour and that, and the stock love it. Not because they're just hungry, that they'd love it whether it's just normal. And
it's been really
I
good.
haven't had a feed test done on it, but it's certainly, it would have lost a little bit, I guess, but it's been bloody magic. And so that's been a real saviour, and that's the reason I put it aside, and we haven't run out, but close, or getting well into our stockpile, but as soon as we get the right season, I'll be doing the same again, fill those sheds and just forget about them.
So that's actually something you planned those good years ago? And
Planned that 20 years ago.
Now, is that mainly grass sort of pasture hay?
Some was grass pasture, other was annual ryegrass that we put in, and like that annual rye that I've used. If you get the right rain and fertilise it, I've got 3 years out of some of that annual rye.
Like in the ground, it still goes for 3 years?
Yeah.
Must be those shorter seasons up there in Benambra, maybe.
It seems to be, I've used a number of annual ryes, but this one, it seems to be very good.
Now, do rats or mice get into the hay at all?
No, they haven't.
No, we haven't had any trouble with it.
If you've got any oaten hay, which we have had past years, but if we did do oaten hay, I haven't done any for oaten hay for a number of years, but if you do oaten hay, you got feed out the first year. No, I've heard lots of stories about silage being underground for sort of 10 or 12 or 15 years, but never actual hay, so... It's the good thing about big squares, they're packed tight, and then you can pack them in the shed like bricks, and very little air gets through them, and
easy to feed out too, aren't they? So I like
good
them
that way.
Now let's talk about the start of your stud. Do you remember when you made the decision that's something you want to pursue, and how did you actually go about that?
Well, we've been, like I say, we purchased these sheep with the property, but and then we used rams from the Benambra stud, just putting them over our flock sheep, etc. And then Benambra, which was the stud at Omeo, was virtually couldn't breed enough rams to supply his. Murray and Janet told him couldn't supply enough rams for their demand. So they asked us if we wanted to just be a stud on the side using their genetics, and just breed a few and get into the sale. If people were after half a dozen rams and they only got 4 of theirs, they could buy it a couple of hours and still have the same genetics.
Mm-hmm.
And so we built on that, and we just kept building on that. But and then once we sort of got established, well, Benambra's stud classer, he sort of wanted to go more finer type shape, where we were back at that stage. A lot of our sheep were 19 micron.
Yeah.
And so we've been to Warra, but they sort of want to get away from those 19 or 20 micron sheep and cut their breeding ewes down to 17, 18, so they micron tested them all, and they sort of went on that path of advice for their stud classer. But it was our decision to stay with the type of sheep we had, even though they were 19 micron or either side of, and they were bigger. Like you get your heavier wool cuts and bigger frames in those 19 micron sheep. So
have you brought in much genetics throughout the journey, or have you tried to just do it with inside your flock?
We have, as in the horn side of it, we've probably very, very few rams were introduced there, or semen through AI, but not a lot with the horns. We're mainly with our own bred genetics, different bloodlines, like keep different families sort of going in within your own stud, their own flock. But once we got demand for poles, we had to go outside looking for pole genetics, and we've probably introduced from some of the leading studs, pole studs. We introduced, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 or so different studs over different period of years, and now we've got a lot of our own genetics within the pole too. So, but yesterday here at the sale, a good ram I come across over at Hamilton 2 years ago, and I thought he's just what I've been looking for. So he was on show in a tent there, and anyway, I asked the stud if they had any semen, and they said, no, we've never collected semen. This is the Kurzweil stud at Hamilton. Right. And anyway, I said, well, if you do, I'll have some. And anyway, yesterday we had quite a number of rams by that.
From that one?
Yeah.
Those really clicked.
Probably half our poles, or over half the poles yesterday were by him, and the other half were by our own genetics.
Yeah. So we'll go back. You walked into this tent, you pull up beside a ram, and what are you actually looking for? You said it was one you've been looking for. What are you looking for?
Well, for starters, you've got to have the right make and shape for a start, virtually before you even look at the wool.
So just the structure, their frame.
Structure,
yep.
You've got to have the correct structure. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how good the wool is. If the structure's not right, well, no good.
What's the most common fault you find in rams these days?
Well, shoulders. Yeah, some have got not good behind the shoulders, which that goes hand in hand with the front feet are not right if the shoulders are a bit dipped. Some might be short, might have a bit of a short neck, or not wide enough not wide enough across the back, or deep enough in the barrel from back down to their flank. I always like a big rear end in a sheep, because that, if you can get that deep flank rear end, you've got meat in your sheep. If you've got as I call them, bullet ass ones, narrow behind,
sloping off,
you got no meat in them. And the first sheep, when things are tough, they are the first ones to get poor.
What about you, Jackie? Do you have a different view? I know Steph and I, when we had merinos, we were always often different opinions on what was a good sheep. You guys agree mainly, or do you like something slightly different than Kelvin?
No, we pretty much agree with what it is. He'll go off and find something, and he'll say, "Oh, come and have a look." But that's look, he's just got such a good eye for all that sort of thing that I never second guess.
Yeah.
I suppose. No, we both like the same wool, the same things about rams. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then what about if the structurally he is right? What sort of wool do you guys like?
Well, it's got to be snow white, stylish, very stylish with character, a well-defined character, as in the crimp in the wool. Got to be well-defined there. Staple length, another thing. Just the right density. You can have them too dense, or you can have them not dense enough. That's probably some of the main pure snow white wool that's got plenty of character in it. You can't go wrong, really. And nourishment, most very important, with the right amount of nourishment in it, because that keeps the water out of the wool, or otherwise keeps the dust out of the wool.
Yeah, it's important down at this East Gippsland too, I think, with the high rainfall in summer. We've had a few sheep that didn't have that nourishment and got into the wool really bad in the warmer months. I had dates here that about 94, 96 or something. That's when you got into the stud, was it?
Yes, it would have been, and we started selling at 97.
Yep. Now, was that selling alongside the other stud, or was that when you...
Yeah, well, we had our own... We were always Panara, but we were selling at the same venue as the other stud. Yeah, we used to take rams to Hamilton Sheep Pension when it was a big sale there, and then the Gippsland sale here, we'd bring rams to here, and been to Warriors here as well.
So this Gippsland sale, that's been going since way back then, is it?
Yeah. I think when we first started selling it was in Sale.
Yeah, they had
wasn't it?
They used to have a sale at Sale, but now, well, I'm not sure exactly what year it started here, but it had to be around virtually pretty much when we started selling, not much after.
It was only a year or two after we started.
Which was 97 was first year we sold.
Well, just a little personal plug for Gippsland Ag. You've actually found a new venue over the last couple of years. It's actually here at the shed at the Gippsland Agriculture Centre.
Yeah.
How's it been? Passed okay, has it?
Oh, this has been the best centre to have the rams at. The comments, like last year was our first year here, and the crowd was basically buzzing. Everybody was so excited about the venue, and even buyers coming in, everybody was talking about how good it is, the lighting and everything, and the fact that we're all in one building together. It was brilliant, and this year was the same.
Yeah, we've had the ability to fit all the rams in under cover, haven't we? So and it's just the right size, I feel. Enough people in there for a bit of atmosphere, and but enough space to actually get around and have a look at the rams. So I know we as an organisation were very worried about what the rams are going to do to the new concrete slab, but you guys have looked after that very well, and day after you wouldn't even know there was a ram in there.
No, it's amazing how it sort of comes together, and the next day you don't even know we've been here. But everybody's commented.
Yeah, just personally from us, the amount of hard work that goes into cleaning up. By you, Jackie, was scrubbing the floors when I came in this morning, so we do appreciate such care taken, but we're glad that it's working out well. So we appreciate being able to hold the sale here. So I think for as long as you have us, we'll be here. Yeah, well, it's a steel building, so it shouldn't get eaten by termites, so it should be right. So now the reason I mentioned that 94, 96 sort of time frame is that Yoni's came into Victoria in the Gippsland area around that time. Was that up your way somewhere as well? Was it prevalent up there? Was it? Yeah. Yes, it was. What do you remember? What do you remember about those days? Not much we want to remember, really. No.
The worst thing was that they just people that had it, Ansay, which was up our way, Swiss Creek, Omeo, Benambra, right through there, thousands of sheep, and anyone that got positive tests for it, they just come and destroyed their flock. Well, just thousands and thousands of top sheep, years of breeding, just got destroyed. So, and after they went and done all that, then they threw it in the too hard basket, and went with what New Zealand have been doing for lifetime of just giving them a needle, and that's where we are today.
So do you remember, was the Yoni's vaccine available in Australia around that eradication time, or they didn't approve it?
Wasn't for starters,
no,
was it?
No, it wasn't.
It was a few years after.
Wasn't available and or approved, more to the point.
Yeah.
But New Zealand had been using it for 15 years, and and instead here they destroyed thousands of top quality merino sheep, and instead of making the needle available and saying, you're positive or whatever, but get the needle into your, young sheep and go through the steps and whatever, and work your way into it.
It's interesting here in Gippsland, because I grew up knowing that as a kid, that if you got it in your flock there, it was the eradication, so the whole property got condemned, and you got to pay it and go into cattle if you want. And I didn't know that had changed. We actually found it in our sheep early days when we were farming out at Hillside, and I was stressed, and I had 3 or 4 sleepless nights, and then got the results back, and yes, it was confirmed, and spoke to the department vets, and they said, it's not such a big deal anymore. You don't have to kill all your sheep like you thought. It's just we'll get rid of the bad ones, and it's probably worth doing a vaccination program. And I thought, when did this change? Because no one seems to talk about it much.
No.
Yeah, it was
Department had a lot to answer for.
It was very poorly handled. And
I think the hard thing too is that yes, there's the loss of genetics and good sheep, like you said, but most producers that grow those sheep and those things, they're like a third child, really.
Oh, absolutely.
And
it's a passion.
It's extremely hard thing. I can't imagine actually if you spent years on building up your flock to have someone tell you no more. So
like Benambra, Omeo, Swiss Creek had it, but Ansay was a home of sheep and thousands of sheep. Well, it just wiped Ansay out. They just come in there and slaughtered or had to destroy all their sheep.
Now, do you make a practice of good airing all your sheep now?
Yeah, we
do.
Good airing for 22 or 3 years, I think, or ever since it come available. We've been using the vaccine. And you're fool if you don't. Really, it doesn't matter where you are, like as in the merino sheep. If you've got sheep that you're keeping on as future breeders, or whether you're keeping your wethers or whatever, just one jab of lifetime, and then it's not 100% possibly, but it's certainly gives you big coverage.
Now, have you ever pricked yourself with that stuff?
No, I haven't.
No.
But I know people that have.
She's pretty nasty though if you get yourself.
It's not good apparently.
I always make a point of, we use it now, and I always make a point of, I'm the only one that's on the special good air gun.
Well, Kelvin's he's the one that does it at home too.
Now I've got a question for you then, Kelvin. How many of the cysts behind the ear do you get on your sheep following that?
Well, you'll get the, as in the lambs, like which we've just been weaning lambs lately, last week, a few days ago. You've noticed a little bit of a bulge or a lump there, but a lot of the time, by the time that sheep's a weaner, that'll be gone. But in the saying the cysts, you might, I don't know, now if you do it right, you might only get 1 or 2 out of 100 or something.
Well, I must have been doing something right, because I seem to get a lot. They do go away, those lumps.
They'll bulge, there'll be a bulge there for probably for 6 or 8 months or something. By the time that sheep's 12 months old, that the biggest majority of them are gone.
Yeah, or maybe I'm not doing something wrong, but I was always noticed it, and especially coming back for another drench or something, and you're looking at the back of the head and go, must be getting the wrong spot, but maybe it's just the actual vaccine itself.
Originally they told just to give it right at the butt of the ear, and that's where you seem to get more cysts there, where now the recommended spot's a couple inches down the neck from the ear,
right.
and you seem to get a lot less there.
Yeah, I'll still go behind the ear, so
I
might have to slide down a little bit. So.
Yeah, well, down about 2 inches from the butt of the ear, on the side of the neck. That's where New Zealand will always give it, and yet we were bloody told to give it.
Well, sometimes they pop too, and that's not good when you're handling a sheep.
Got that bit of bloody cheese.
Yeah, hopefully no one's having a cup of tea with a biscuit because she'll be put off. My wife is a nurse and she doesn't mind that stuff at all, but when I see it, I can't deal with that. So you mentioned some of the difficulties up in the high country there. Wild dogs have moved a lot of sheep farmers out of the industry. What have you done to make sure that you've been able to have a viable operation up there? I'm assuming there's still a lot of wild dogs around your area.
Definitely, there's plenty of wild dogs, and they'll always be there. But we in 1996, roughly, I think it was, where we moved to where we are. We purchased in 1985. Then wild dogs were killing. Look out the kitchen window one morning, and here's 3 dogs in the ewes and lambs just 80 yards above our house, and I went up there. Well, there was 6 dogs in the pack, and there was just blood and guts everywhere. And anyway, that we put up with it for a year or so, and you get rid of dogs, but as soon as you got rid of half a dozen, there was another 6 took their place, and whatever. Anyway, we bit the bullet and electrified our whole boundary in 1996, and we never had a dog in. Neighbours were getting them killed on the other side of the fence. We never had another dog in from 96 to 2003 when we got burnt out with the bushfires, and 3 days later, after the bushfires went through, those dogs were in killing again. So that
took out your fences, did they? And
then the fires did, and so that gives you an idea how much the dogs are patrolling our boundary fence. And I got 6 or 8 people, and we got the electric fence powered up again and going, and right around the boundary. And touch wood, we've never had a dog in since now, but neighbours will have them or whatever.
Now, what sort of electric fence is it? A big elaborate thing, or is it a fairly
see, our whole country or property there is surrounded by other freehold country, all clear country, and it always had the existing 4-foot fence. So soon you're inside clear country. What we done was just put a 4-wire electric fence about a foot inside the existing 4-foot fence, and
on your side,
with plenty of power in it. The electric fence is only as good as you maintain it, but while it's maintained, and that worked well. But if you're joining bush, you need the 7-wire electric fence. But where we are, if they come to our fence and like a horse or whatever, there's a field around the wire, like might be a metre, sort of a dog or a horse can sense electricity around that wire, and they come there, and if they come across the power, well, they think, we'll just trot along somewhere else and go and see another neighbour or whatever.
So I've heard some stories of people, say, doing the western boundary of their property. That would do nothing by the sound of things, because they'll just follow it down and then sneak in down the bottom or something.
Yeah, they get to the end of it. And,
so you just have to lock up the whole property on the boundary.
It's a waste of time just doing one side or whatever, because they just trot along till they'll go and check it out, and if there's a dead end of that electric fence, well, they'll go to there and in they come.
Yeah, they're cunning little critters, aren't they? So,
They are.
now you mentioned you got burnt out there. What did you say, 96, was it?
No, 2003.
2003, well off.
Yeah, 96 was when we put the electric fence up.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
That that burned the whole property, or what did that look like for you guys?
Yeah, it burnt. We virtually had very little left that didn't get burnt. There wasn't much that didn't get touched at home. Yeah, it just burnt the whole place virtually.
Yeah, and what about your livestock? What have you done with them? Did you know it was coming, obviously, or?
Yeah, we knew it was coming, but it'd been sitting out in the hills there for days, and and then when the wrong day happened, just a powerful north wind, well, the fire just come from nowhere in a matter of a very, very short time, and so we'd done what preparations we could, like disc up around buildings or whatever, disc country, naturally had everything all cleaned up as good as you could do, had water in the spouts, the sheds, the house, whatever, all that type of thing. But anyway, whatever preparations you could do, we've done that. But the day the wind broke loose, the fire just come through, swept through there in no time. The Bairnsdale CFA were up there at the time, would give up trying to battle with the fire over the back. So we just come back to, there was half a dozen slip-ons, and luckily we had the fire truck there, and when it come through our place, we were just sitting there waiting for the fire because you had nearly zero vision.
Yeah.
Couldn't see the bull bar on your vehicle hardly. And anyway, when we were sitting there and the Bairnsdale CFA Hilux turns up, and I said, "Oh, slip on." I said, "Oh, thanks for coming to give us a hand to fight the fire when it gets here and protect the buildings and the house, etc." "Oh no, we only come to measure the wind."
Oh.
And anyway, they said it's 100 kilometres, gusting at 150.
See.
I said, "Well, you don't have to tell me anything." I said, "I can't get the door open on the bloody Hilux unless I pull around this way or that way."
Yeah. So you guys fought it up there yourselves, did you?
Yeah, we did with the like the half a dozen slip-ons and the fire truck, and the local plane was bombing. For Foscheck.
Yeah. Did you go on?
No, I was going to say we had the young sheep were in the weaners, sort of, they were in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
They sort of put them in, Kelvin had put them in there, and the rest was sort of put into, like, there was nothing in the paddocks, but the paddock that, thought had even less than anything else, that they were sort of in there. So yeah, we'd sort of done what we could with stock, and sort of hoped for the best, but it turned out the paddock that we thought would probably be the better one was where most of them got.
We had 200 sheep that was either burnt or had to be put down.
Yeah.
So, but that was every sheep in this one paddock.
Yeah.
If I had to put, like, we're already in drought, and the country's bare, but even in saying that, the fire, it's just the dust, the manure, anything, but there was just fire rolling through the sky like a big sausage roll virtually, but then a smaller fire come behind mopping it up. But if I had to put all the sheep in the one paddock, this one was as bare as you could get, and that paddock I thought would have been the barest and the safest. 200 sheep there and lost a lot.
Oh, you lost all?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but yet the rest all got away pretty much untouched.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the end of all that, we still had 2 haystacks. Well, we had a friend over the back. He'd been watering that down, and looking after that. The one at the house, we actually didn't lose. Oh, we lost some of our silage and stuff that was out in one of the paddocks. We actually saved the hay sheds and the house and the 2 shearing sheds. Well, last you saw of the other shearing shed up the road, you thought that would be we wouldn't have it, but it was there. But our local pilot,
he took care of it.
he did.
Yeah.
He did a lot for us. Didn't we? The weaners were a little bit pink.
Yeah,
They were covered in Fozcheck, but they were alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain that to the wool buyer.
Yeah.
With our other shed that Jackie was just saying, the last I seen with the fire was just racing towards it, but had to sacrifice something, so I went home to save the house, and the all the yards, and most of the yards got burnt at the shearing shed, but shed was still untouched.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and there's pine trees there.
Yeah, right.
They
normally go up.
Yeah.
It's like, well, as fires are, it's hard to believe some of the houses or what get burnt, and then there'll be a house or shed or whatever that's been right there in the middle of it, and it's still standing. So,
So, if there was another fire sitting out the back again, what would you do differently? Is there things you've learnt from that one that you'll do differently?
There's probably not a lot to what we done. What we done back then, there's probably not a lot.
It's probably what we'd do again.
Yeah, just try and clean up and disc up, do some disking. But when you got 100+ kilometre winds, well, you can have
jumps across, doesn't it?
You can have acres and acres disced up, and it just jumps.
Yeah. Where were the cattle? The cattle in just
just let them take a free range too, and
how did they fare in the fire?
Yeah, we were lucky they got through, but there was plenty of stock lost in the area. As in cattle and sheep.
No, we did all right cattle wise. We were fine.
Just the thing. There was only our biggest thing was the fire rolling through the sky, and then it just hit the ground, and then it'd just lift up and be gone again and that. But if there was stock underneath it, which happened with these sheep, I think, and they got caught underneath it. But with the cattle, well, there was no grass there, so, and they didn't get the fire dropped on top of them, so they missed it. Yeah, just there was their lucky day.
Well, we'll move on. We talked about the cattle then. We'll actually talk about your lucky day. Now, I'm not sure how long ago, but you had a bit of an incident in the yards a little while ago. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
2.5 years ago.
Oh, that long ago?
Yeah, that's March 2 years ago. That was... Anyway, it wasn't the calf's fault. I was in a calf. It happened on calf sale morning, and our annual calf sale's up there, and we were just loading cattle, but the actual calf that hit me, it wasn't his fault, probably 380 kilo calf or so, but it was the one behind him just put his head up the crutch of this other fella and just roosted him forward.
Right.
And I'm standing 3 or 4 foot away, and so the calves were quiet and whatever, and this one just got pushed, and so this other one come forward with his head and hit me in the chest. Well, and he was still just standing there looking at each other at 0 distance between us, and he got a fright, didn't know where to go, so that made him jump, and which hit me in the chest and just cartwheeled me and knocked me over, and I come down when the way I saw it, my feet went up in the air, and my back was probably 3 or 3 foot off the ground, and I come down, and the first thing that hit the deck was my vertebrae, and on the sharp edge of timber, And
were you in the yards, Jackie, then?
No, I wasn't. I was actually down at the house. So Peter, who was in the truck, he raced down to the house, and he said, "You better come up Kelvin's been hurt.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got back up to the yards, and by that stage he'd got himself up. I think pure adrenaline. I think by then.
Yeah.
And he was just coming out of the yard, and
Walking.
yes,
Really?
yeah, he got himself up and he walked out, and I said to him, I took one look at him and I said, I'm going to call an ambulance. I said, no, I'm not that bad. He said, I'll be right. And I said, no. I said, we need an ambulance. No, I'll be fine. So
Who won the argument?
So I said, right. I said,
just for the listeners, Jackie looked at disgust at Kelvin, so Kelvin didn't get the ambulance. So.
No, I should. Anyway, had I have called the ambulance, he probably would have had air ambulance. He would have had helimed and been flown straight to the Alfred. But as it was, he said, no. He said, and I said, well, I'm at least taking you into the doctor. Well, I can't go in like this, covered in cow shit. I can't go in like this. And I said, you can. You'll be fine. So we won that argument too. So he had to change his trousers. All the while, he said, I'm not too bad. And I said, no, we're going in. So I got him in there, and then he's going crook. He wasn't comfortable because they treated it, surprise, like a back injury.
Yeah.
He wasn't allowed to move. Oh, this is uncomfortable. Anyhow, they strapped him all in, and he went by road ambulance to Bairnsdale and had his x-rays and whatever there. And
what was the diagnosis?
2 crushed vertebrae.
Right.
Yeah, so 6 o'clock that night, he's heading out to the airport in a fixed wing flying down to Melbourne, and he's in the Alfred then.
Yeah. So obviously the spinal cord was okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, no, he was very lucky. I said if I'd have called the ambulance, he would have been down here this morning, not this afternoon.
And a lot more comfort probably too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's two, the L1 and L2 both got crushed vertical. If it had been a horizontal crush or break, smash, that might
he wouldn't have been so lucky.
Would have been a different story with the spinal cord, but it's just lucky that there was a vertical crush and crushed the 2 vertebrae to 45% of their normal height was what there's the report. Yeah.
So what surgery you said to pin something? Or
No, he didn't have to have surgery, but he was in a brace for 12 weeks.
Yes.
I think it was, yeah.
That would have been comfortable.
12, 16 weeks.
Yeah. 16 weeks,
16 weeks, I think, in the brace. Yeah, it was uncomfortable, yes. You got that right.
No head injury, though?
No. Nothing there to hurt.
Now, what have you learnt? I heard you changed some yard design up there. Is that part of that injury, or is it just time to do that? Or
probably. Well, it's probably more time to do it. The yard really, but both. Yeah, definitely both. Alistair, with some of the modern ramps now you got and forcing yards and etc., which we've got there. But they weren't invented years ago, but now they are. So go with the times a bit and make things safer, and plus it's just easier to handle the stock or work the stock too. Yeah.
They're more happy in those yards than you design, you reckon?
They work better. Yeah, they certainly work better. But even the yards we had worked well. But it just different ideas that pop up all the time. So whether it's sheep or cattle, you can design yards to make everything work better and safer for the people working. Yeah.
Now, I think that same month there might have been 2 sort of major incidents in cattle yards. There was a local guy down here worked for Nutrient or Landmark at the time, and he both. It just made me think when they both happened. I thought it's only a hair away from going really bad if you're not sort of on your toes all the time. So.
No, it happens very quickly.
No, and I know Nicole was quite concerned, your daughter, who I work with. So we're actually coming to the end of this podcast, and it's fitting that I mentioned Nicole, because Nicole's a very valuable member of the team here, big part of the team here, and she's actually your daughter. I asked you a little while ago, we need some dirt on Nicole, because she comes in here, she doesn't make a mistake, I've got nothing on her. So if you've got a story that I can share to our wider community, just stir Nicole up.
Her mother's probably got more on than me, but I'll never forget the time, like we were marking lambs at home, and Nicole was, I don't know what she would have been, probably only 4-year-old maybe. She's in there catching these lambs, and we'd never heard her swear. Anyway, I'm there working away at the cradle, and Jackie was vaccinated or doing whatever. We had someone catching her. And anyway, next minute, to hear this out of the top of the voice, "You kicking little bastard!" and anyway,
a cute little 4-year-old.
She looked up with this look on her face that she didn't thought, well, virtually where'd that come from? And Jackie and I looked at her, and we'd never heard it before. But there's just little things like that, I guess. But to have a big story on it, it probably, be honest, it was hard to come by.
Yeah.
Well,
I
Took her
couldn't
fishing
think of
one
any.
day, and we used to like our trout fishing, and had probably a $9.99 fishing rod.
K-bar special.
And she had this big rainbow on, about 3 pound, and it's bouncing around the water, and I had a strong line on it so that it didn't break the line. And next minute the rod broke instead. Well, there was tears and whatever, and about the fishing rod had broke. Didn't matter about the bloody 3 pound rainbow. It was still.
Did you manage to drag it in, did you?
Yeah,
you
we
did.
got it out there.
It wasn't all a loss. So. I really appreciate your time, Jackie and Kelvin. And
Thank you, Al. Yeah.
it's been a really good conversation, and I know lots of people find it interesting, and congratulations on the sale yesterday.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
keep pushing that merino bucket, because there's a place for them here in Gippsland for sure.
Yeah.
You're dead right.
Thank you.
The back merinos are the backbone of the sheep industry.
Yeah. Safe travels back up the hill.
Thank you very much.
A big thank you for tuning in today. And remember, if you have a question about today's episode or a topic you'd like us to cover, reach out to one of our many platforms and join the conversation. We're here because of your passion and commitment to agriculture. Together, we can build a stronger farming future.
This podcast is made possible by the Future Drought Fund Regional Drought Resilience Planning Program, co-funded by the Victorian and Australian governments.